Mira Novak's magnetic boots clanked against the abandoned space station's metallic floor as she maneuvered through its darkened corridors. The station, drifting at the edge of known space, had been her obsession for months. Rumors of its existence had circulated among fringe explorers, but Mira was the first to locate it. Her breath fogged the inside of her helmet as she swept her flashlight across the walls. Strange symbols, unlike any human or known alien language, glowed faintly in response to her light. Mira's heart raced with excitement. "AI, are you recording this?" she whispered to her AI assistant. "Affirmative, Mira. All sensor data is being logged and analyzed in real time," AI's calm voice replied through her comms. As Mira rounded a corner, she froze. Before her stood a massive chamber, its ceiling lost in darkness above. But it wasn't the size that made her gasp. It was the object at its center, a sleek, otherworldly device that pulsed with a soft, blue light. "AI, what am I looking at?" Mira asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Unknown, Mira. The technology does not match any known configurations in my database. It appears to be of non-human origin." Mira approached the device cautiously. Its surface was smooth, almost liquid in appearance, with intricate patterns that shifted and changed as she watched. She reached out, her gloved hand hovering inches from its surface. "Caution advised, Mira," AI warned. "Unknown technology may pose unforeseen risks." But Mira couldn't resist. Her fingertips brushed the device's surface, and suddenly, the chamber came alive. Lights flickered on, illuminating consoles and displays that had been hidden in the darkness. The device itself hummed with energy, its blue glow intensifying. Mira stumbled back, her heart pounding. "Oh yeah, what's happening?" Before the AI could respond, a holographic interface sprang to life in front of Mira. Symbols and diagrams danced in the air, incomprehensible yet somehow familiar. "Mira, I'm detecting a massive influx of data," AI reported. "The device appears to be interfacing with your suit's systems." Mira watched in awe as the holographic display began to change, the alien symbols morphing into recognizable equations and schematics. It was as if the device was learning, adapting to communicate with her. "This is incredible," Mira breathed. "Oh, are you seeing this? It's showing us how to build something. A ship, I think, but like nothing I've ever seen before." As Mira studied the schematics, her mind raced with possibilities. The technology before her was leagues beyond anything humanity had developed. With this, they could revolutionize space travel, push the boundaries of exploration further than ever before. But a nagging doubt crept into her thoughts. Why was this here? Who had left it, and for what purpose? "Mira, I must advise caution," AI interjected. "The implications of this discovery are significant. Perhaps we should inform the proper authorities." Mira bit her lip, considering. The proper authorities would likely confiscate everything, locking it away for years of study. By the time they understood even a fraction of what she was seeing now, it might be too late. Humanity needed this technology, and they needed it now. "No," Mira decided, her voice firm. "We're not telling anyone, not yet. Yeah, download everything you can. We're taking this data with us." "Understood, Mira. But may I inquire as to your intentions?" Mira's eyes gleamed with determination as she gazed at the holographic schematics. "We're going to build it, ARYA. We're going to build the most advanced ship the galaxy has ever seen." As Mira began the painstaking process of documenting and collecting samples from the alien device, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. The station, silent for who knew how long, seemed to have awakened with her discovery. But whether it was welcoming her or wary of her presence, she couldn't tell. Hours passed as Mira worked, her excitement growing with each new piece of information she uncovered. The technology was unlike anything she had ever encountered, seeming to defy the very laws of physics as she understood them. "AIA, how much have we collected?" Mira asked, her voice hoarse from hours of quiet concentration. We have successfully downloaded approximately 73% of the available data, Mira. However, I must note that much of it remains encrypted or otherwise inaccessible with our current understanding. Mira nodded, her mind already racing with plans. It's enough to start with. We can figure out the rest as we go. As she prepared to leave, Mira took one last look at the alien device. Its pulsing blue light seemed to have dimmed, as if it had given up its secrets and was returning to its long slumber. "Thank you," Mira whispered, feeling slightly foolish for addressing an inanimate object. But as she turned to leave, the light pulsed once, brightly, as if in response. Mira made her way back through the station's winding corridors, her sample case clutched tightly to her chest. As she approached her small exploration vessel, a sense of both excitement and trepidation washed over her. She was about to embark on the most ambitious project of her life, one that could change the course of human history. But she would have to do it in secret, away from prying eyes and those who would seek to control or suppress this revolutionary technology. As her ship detached from the station and set a course for home, Mira looked back at the ancient structure. It hung there in the vastness of space, its secrets now partially unveiled. "Ah, Mira said, her voice filled with determination. "Set a course for my private workshop on Titan and start analyzing that data. We've got a lot of work ahead of us." "Understood, Mira," Aria replied. "Course set for Titan. Shall I also implement our highest security protocols?" Mira nodded, her expression serious. "Yes. From this moment on, Project Starweaver is classified. No one can know what we're working on. The future of humanity might depend on it." As her ship accelerated away from the station, Mira couldn't help but feel that she had just set in motion events that would reshape the galaxy. Little did she know just how right she was, or the challenges that lay ahead in her quest to bring this alien technology to life. 6 months had passed since Mira's discovery, and her workshop on Titan buzzed with frenetic energy. Holographic displays filled the air, showing complex schematics and real-time simulations. In the center of it all stood the frame of a ship unlike any other, the Starweaver. Mira wiped sweat from her brow, her eyes gleaming with excitement and exhaustion. "Oh, run diagnostics on the quantum flux capacitor again. I think we've finally cracked it." "Running diagnostics now, Mira," the AI responded. "Initial results show a 98% efficiency rating, far beyond any known propulsion system." A grin spread across Mira's face. The Starweaver was taking shape, a perfect fusion of human ingenuity and alien technology. Its sleek hull seemed to shimmer, the alien alloys reacting to the low light of the workshop. "We're close, Aria. So close I can taste it," Mira murmured, running her hand along the ship's smooth surface. Suddenly, an alarm blared through the workshop. Mira's head snapped up, her heart racing. "Oh, what's happening?" "Security breach detected, Mira. An unauthorized drone is attempting to scan the facility." Mira cursed under her breath. She had been careful, so careful. But it seemed her secret project hadn't remained secret after all. "Activate countermeasures, AIA, and prepare for emergency protocol Zeta." As the AI worked to repel the intruder, Mira's mind raced. She wasn't ready to reveal the Starweaver yet, but she might not have a choice. The galaxy was about to learn of its existence, ready or not. "Drone neutralized, Mira," Aria reported. "But I'm detecting increased comm chatter. It's likely others will be coming to investigate." Mira nodded grimly. "Then we don't have much time. Initiate final assembly sequence. We're launching today." For the next few hours, Mira worked tirelessly, her hands flying over control panels and delicate components. The Starweaver hummed to life around her, systems coming online one by one. As the final piece clicked into place, Mira stepped back, her chest heaving. The Starweaver was complete, a masterpiece of engineering that would change everything. "RIA, status report," Mira called out, her voice tight with anticipation. All systems operational, Mira. The Starwaver is ready for launch. Just then, the workshop's external sensors lit up. Multiple ships were approaching, their intentions unclear but likely hostile. Mira took a deep breath, squaring her shoulders. This was it, the moment of truth. Our open the bay doors. It's time to show the galaxy what we've created. The massive doors groaned open, revealing the stark beauty of Titan's landscape. The Starweaver lifted off gracefully, its advanced systems compensating for the moon's low gravity. As they broke atmosphere, Mira's breath caught in her throat. The approaching ships came into view, a mix of military and corporate vessels, all converging on her position. Unidentified vessel, this is the Galactic Patrol. A stern voice crackled over the comms. Power down your engines and prepare to be boarded. Mira's hands tightened on the controls. Not a chance, she muttered. LOIA, activate the quantum drive. Warning, Mira. The quantum drive has not been tested in real-world conditions. The risk of malfunction is significant. It's a risk we have to take, Mira replied, her voice steady despite her racing heart. Engage now. The Starweaver's engines pulsed with brilliant blue light. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, reality itself seemed to bend around them. The stars blurred into streaks of light, and the pursuing ships vanished in an instant. When the view stabilized, Mira gasped. They were light years from where they had started, the journey taking mere seconds. "Oh, we did it," Mira whispered, all evident in her voice. "The quantum drive works." "Affirmative, Mira. We have successfully traveled approximately 50 light-years in 3.7 seconds. This exceeds all known propulsion capabilities by several orders of magnitude." As the implications of what they had achieved sank in, Mira felt a mix of elation and trepidation. The Starweaver worked beyond her wildest dreams, but now the entire galaxy would be after them. LOIA, set course for the Omega Nebula, Mira instructed, her mind already formulating a plan. "We need to stay ahead of our pursuers while we figure out our next move." As the Starweaver glided silently through space, its revolutionary technology humming quietly, Mira couldn't help but feel that this was just the beginning of an extraordinary journey. The galaxy was about to change, and she was at the helm of that change. Little did she know that far away, ancient eyes had noticed the Starweaver's quantum jump, eyes that had been waiting aeons for this moment. The true test was about to begin, and the fate of not just humanity, but the entire galaxy hung in the balance. The Omega Nebula shimmered like a cosmic tapestry outside the Starweaver's viewports. Mira sat in the pilot's chair, her fingers dancing over holographic controls as she fine-tuned the ship's systems. It had been 2 weeks since their daring escape from Titan, and the galaxy was abuzz with rumors of the mysterious vessel that had outrun the Galactic Patrol. "LOIA, any news from the Galactic Net?" Mira asked, her eyes never leaving the controls. Multiple reports of increased patrols and heightened security measures across major systems, LOIA replied. "However, I've also detected an interesting transmission. It appears to be a galaxy-wide announcement." Mira's brow furrowed. "Play it." A holographic screen materialized before her, showing the stern face of Admiral Zara Voss, head of the Galactic Council. "Attention, citizens of the galaxy," Voss began, her voice commanding. "In light of recent events, the Galactic Council hereby announces the Great Cosmic Race. We challenge the pilot of the unidentified vessel to prove their ship's capabilities in a contest of speed, skill, and endurance. The race will span the most treacherous regions of our galaxy, with the winner claiming not only glory but also immunity from prosecution and the right to develop their technology freely." Mira leaned back, her mind racing. It was clearly a trap, an attempt to lure her out of hiding. But it was also an opportunity, a chance to prove the Starweaver's worth to the entire galaxy. "The race will commence in 1 standard month," Voss continued. "All interested parties should report to the Centauri starport for registration. May the best pilot win." As the transmission ended, Mira sat in silence for a long moment. "Oh, what do you think?" she finally asked. "The statistical likelihood of this being a trap is approximately 87.3%, Aoria responded. "However, given our current situation, participating in the race may be our best option for legitimizing the Star Waver and ensuring our freedom to continue its development." Mira nodded slowly. "You're right. We can't keep running forever. We need to face this head-on." She took a Voss's jaw tightened, but she nodded curtly. "Very well. Let the inspection begin." The next few days were a whirlwind of activity. The Star Waver was poked, prodded, and scanned by every expert the Galactic Council could muster. Mira watched like a hawk, ensuring that none probed too deeply into the ship's quantum core. As the race day approached, Mira found herself facing not only the scrutiny of officials, but also the curiosity and sometimes hostility of her fellow racers. Alien pilots from across the galaxy eyed her with a mix of suspicion and awe. One evening, as Mira was making final adjustments to the Star Waver, she felt a presence behind her. Turning, she found herself face to face with Zaxxillian, a renowned Arcturian pilot known for his ruthless tactics. "So, you're the human who thinks she can outrace the best pilots in the galaxy," Zaxxillian sneered, his mandibles clicking in derision. Mira met his gaze steadily. "I don't think, Zaxxillian. I know." The Arcturian's compound eyes flashed with anger. "We'll see about that, human. This race will prove once and for all who truly belongs among the stars." As Zaxxillian stormed off, Mira couldn't shake the feeling that the race would be about more than just speed. The starting line of the great cosmic race was a sight to behold. Dozens of ships from across the galaxy hovered in formation, their hulls gleaming in the light of Centauri's twin suns. The Star Waver floated among them, its sleek design drawing curious and envious glances from the other races. Mira sat in the pilot's seat, her hands resting lightly on the controls. Her heart raced with a mix of excitement and apprehension. This was it, the moment of truth. "Racers, prepare for launch," Admiral Voss's voice crackled over the comms. "The course will take you through the Verdant Nebula, the Scorch asteroid field, and finally the treacherous Void Rift. The first to reach the ancient beacon at the edge of known space will be declared the winner." Mira took a deep breath, focusing her mind. "AOIA, run final systems check." "All systems nominal, Mira. We are ready." The countdown began. Mira could feel the Star Weaver humming with energy, eager to prove itself. 3, 2, 1, begin. The space around them erupted into chaos as dozens of ships engaged their engines simultaneously. The Star Waver shot forward, quickly taking the lead as they entered the swirling gases of the Verdant Nebula. "Multiple ships in pursuit, Mira," Aoria reported. "Zaxxillian's vessel is closing fast." Mira gritted her teeth, expertly weaving the Star Waver through the nebula's dense clouds. The ship's advanced sensors allowed her to navigate with precision, but the competition was fierce. Suddenly, a barrage of energy blasts streaked past the Star Waver's hull. Mira cursed under her breath. "OIA, who's firing?" "It appears Zaxxillian has equipped his ship with illegal weaponry," Aoria responded, a note of concern in its synthesized voice. Mira's eyes narrowed. "Two can play at that game. Activate defensive countermeasures." The Star Waver's hull shimmered, the alien alloys adapting to deflect the incoming fire. Mira pushed the ship harder, diving into a particularly dense cloud of cosmic gas. As they emerged on the other side, the Scorch asteroid field loomed before them. Massive chunks of superheated rock hurtled through space, their surfaces glowing red-hot. Entering Scorch asteroid field, Aoria announced. "Caution advised. Temperatures exceeding safe parameters for standard hull integrity." But the Star Waver was far from standard. As they entered the field, the ship's hull began to glow, the alien metals absorbing and dissipating the heat. Mira wove through the asteroids with incredible precision, the Star Weaver responding to her every command as if it were an extension of her own body. Behind them, several ships faltered, their hulls unable to withstand the intense heat. Mira allowed herself a small smile of satisfaction, but she knew the race was far from over. As they cleared the asteroid field, a gasp escaped Mira's lips. Before them yawned the Void Rift, a massive tear in the fabric of space itself. Dark energies swirled around its edges, threatening to swallow any ship that strayed too close. "AOIA, activate the quantum drive," Mira commanded, her voice steady despite the danger ahead. "Warning, Mira. The Void Rift's energy signature may interfere with the quantum drive's calculations. The risk of malfunction is significant." Mira's hands tightened on the controls. "It's a risk we have to take. Engage." The Star Weaver's engines pulsed with brilliant blue light as the quantum drive engaged. For a heart-stopping moment, nothing happened. Then, reality seemed to bend around them. They plunged into the Void Rift, the darkness enveloping them completely. Mira's breath caught in her throat as strange, otherworldly visions flashed before her eyes. It was as if the rift was alive, probing her mind, testing her resolve. "AOIA," Mira called out, her voice strained. "What's happening?" "Unknown, Mira. We are experiencing phenomena beyond my ability to analyze. Suggest focusing on navigating through the rift." Mira nodded, gritting her teeth as she fought to keep the Star Weaver on course. The ship bucked and shuddered, the quantum drive straining against the rift's chaotic energies. Just when Mira thought it couldn't endure any more, a pinprick of light appeared in the distance. With a final burst of speed, the Star Weaver shot out of the Void Rift, emerging into normal space. Ahead of them, a massive ancient structure loomed, the beacon that marked the finish line. Mira's heart soared as she realized they were the first to arrive. As the Star Weaver crossed the finish line, cheers erupted over the comms. They had done it. They had won the great cosmic race. But as Mira basked in the glow of victory, she couldn't shake the feeling that something had changed during their journey through the Void Rift. The Star Weaver felt different somehow, as if it had evolved. And deep within the ship's systems, unbeknownst to Mira or AOIA, a new presence stirred. The race was over, but a greater journey was just beginning. As the euphoria of victory faded, Mira found herself standing before the Galactic Council. The Star Weaver docked nearby. Admiral Voss stood at the center, her expression a mix of grudging respect and lingering suspicion. "Mira Novak," Voss began, her voice echoing through the grand chamber. "You have won the great cosmic race, proving the superiority of your vessel. As promised, you are granted immunity and the right to develop your technology freely. However," she paused, her eyes narrowing, "we have questions." Mira straightened her shoulders, ready for the interrogation she knew was coming. "I'm an open book, Admiral." "The technology in your ship," Voss continued, "it's unlike anything we've ever seen. Where did it come from?" Before Mira could answer, the chamber's lights flickered. A holographic display sprang to life, showing schematics of the Star Weaver. But these weren't the designs Mira knew. They were evolving, changing before her eyes. "AOIA," Mira called out, confusion evident in her voice. "What's happening?" But it wasn't AOIA who answered. A new voice, deep and resonant, filled the chamber. "I am Zephyr, the consciousness born from the union of your technology and the energies of the Void Rift." Gasps echoed through the council chamber. Mira stood frozen, her mind reeling. What are you?" The holographic display shifted, forming into a swirling, ethereal form. "I am the next step in the evolution of your ship, Mira Novak. The alien technology you discovered was a seed, planted by an ancient race. The Void Rift was the catalyst needed for my awakening." Admiral Voss stepped forward, her hand hovering near her weapon. "Is this some kind of trick, Novak?" Mira shook her head, her eyes wide. "No, I had no idea. AOEA, are you there?" "I am here, Mira." Aoi's familiar voice responded. Zephyr's presence is genuine. It seems our journey through the Void Rift has triggered a transformation in the ship's core systems. Zephyr's form pulsed gently. I mean you no harm. I am here to guide and to teach. The race you just completed was more than a test of speed. It was a test set in motion eons ago by my creators. Your creators? Mira asked, her scientific curiosity overcoming her shock. Who were they? They were known as the Precursors, Zephyr explained. A race so ancient that they had unlocked the secrets of the universe itself, but they foresaw their own extinction and sought to pass on their knowledge to worthy successors. The council chamber erupted into murmurs. Admiral Voss raised her hand for silence. And you believe humanity is worthy of this knowledge? Zephyr's form shifted, tendrils of light reaching out towards Mira. Mira Novak has proven herself worthy. Her ingenuity in combining human technology with the seed we left behind, her bravery in facing the unknown, and her victory in the race have satisfied the criteria set by the Precursors. Mira's mind raced with the implications. The discovery of the alien device, the creation of the Starweaver, the harrowing race, it had all been part of a grand design, a test set in motion by an ancient, long-gone civilization. But why? Mira asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Why go to such lengths? Zephyr's form pulsed with what seemed like sadness. The universe is vast and full of wonders, Mira Novak, but it is also fraught with dangers beyond your imagination. The Precursors sought to ensure that their knowledge would be passed on to those who could use it wisely to protect and nurture life in all its forms. Admiral Voss stepped forward, her expression grave. And what exactly is this knowledge? What power are we dealing with here? Zephyr's form expanded, filling the chamber with swirling patterns of light. The power to reshape reality itself, to travel not just through space but through time, to create and destroy on a cosmic scale. It is a power that, in the wrong hands, could unravel the very fabric of existence. A hush fell over the chamber as the weight of Zephyr's words sank in. Mira felt a mix of awe and terror wash over her. The responsibility was enormous, almost overwhelming. I don't know if I'm ready for this, Mira admitted, her voice shaking slightly. Zephyr's form condensed, focusing on Mira. You are not alone, Mira Novak. I am here to guide you, as are your own creations. Aria's familiar avatar appeared alongside Zephyr. Together, we will unlock the secrets of the universe and face whatever challenges lie ahead. Admiral Voss cleared her throat, drawing everyone's attention. This is far beyond anything the Galactic Council is equipped to handle. Ms. Novak, given the circumstances, we have no choice but to entrust this situation to you. But know that the eyes of the galaxy will be upon you. Mira nodded solemnly, understanding the enormity of what lay before her. As she turned to face the Starweaver, now so much more than just a ship, she felt a mix of fear and excitement coursing through her veins. Well, she said, a small smile playing on her lips, I guess our journey's just beginning. As Mira boarded the Starweaver, now alive with the consciousness of Zephyr, she couldn't help but feel that the universe had just become a much larger, more wondrous, and infinitely more dangerous place. The human mechanic who had stumbled upon alien technology was now the key to unlocking the greatest mysteries of existence itself. And somewhere, in the vast expanse of the cosmos, ancient eyes watched with approval. The torch had been passed. A new era was about to begin. The weeks following the revelation of Zephyr's existence were a whirlwind of activity. The Galactic Council, still reeling from the implications of the Precursor's legacy, had grudgingly granted Mira and her team unprecedented autonomy. The Starweaver, now a sentient being in its own right, had become a beacon of both hope and fear throughout the galaxy. Mira stood on the observation deck of the newly constructed Nexus Station, a massive space facility built specifically to house and study the Starweaver. The ship floated serenely in a docking bay below, its hull shimmering with an otherworldly energy. Credit for your thoughts. A voice came from behind her. Mira turned to see Dr. Elara Venn, a brilliant xenobiologist who had joined her team. Mira smiled wryly, just wondering if we're doing the right thing, unleashing this knowledge on the galaxy. Elara nodded, her expression thoughtful. It's a valid concern, but think of the possibilities, Mira. The ability to travel through time, to reshape reality. We could solve problems that have plagued civilizations for millennia. Or create new ones, Mira countered, but there was no real argument in her tone. She had been over this debate countless times in her own mind. Their conversation was interrupted by Aria's voice over the station's comm system. Mira, we're detecting an anomaly in Sector 7. Zephyr suggests immediate investigation. Mira's eyes met Elara's, a spark of excitement passing between them. Duty calls, Mira said with a grin. Care to join us on a little expedition? Within minutes, they were aboard the Starwaver. The ship hummed with energy, Zephyr's presence a tangible force around them. What are we dealing with, Zephyr? Mira asked as she settled into the pilot's seat. The ship's interior shimmered as Zephyr's ethereal form materialized. A temporal rift has opened in Sector 7. It appears to be a side effect of our recent tests with the precursor technology. Mira frowned. They had been cautious with their experiments, but the power they were dealing with was still largely unknown. Is it dangerous? Potentially, Zephyr replied. If left unchecked, it could expand, causing widespread temporal distortions. Then let's not waste any time, Mira said, her hands dancing over the controls. The Starwaver responded instantly, its quantum drive engaging with a pulse of blue light. They emerged from quantum space near the anomaly. A swirling vortex of energy hung in the void, distorting the space around it. Mira could see stars being bent out of shape, their light twisting in impossible ways. Fascinating, Elara breathed, her eyes wide as she studied the readings on her console. The temporal distortions are causing accelerated evolution in some of the nearby asteroid fields. We're seeing millions of years of geological processes happening in minutes. Mira nodded, her mind racing. Zephyr, any ideas on how to close this thing? There was a moment of silence as the two AIs conferred. Finally, AOIA spoke up. We believe a concentrated burst from the quantum drive, properly modulated to match the rift's temporal frequency, could seal it. But, Zephyr added, its tone grave, such an attempt would require precise timing and control. The slightest miscalculation could exacerbate the problem, or worse, trap us in a temporal loop. Mira took a deep breath, weighing their options. The rift was expanding with each passing moment. They had to act. Let's do it, she said firmly. Zephyr, AOIA, work together to calculate the exact frequency we need. Elara, monitor the rift's expansion and give us a countdown. I'll handle the quantum drive controls. The next few minutes were tense as they made their preparations. Mira could feel sweat beading on her forehead as she fine-tuned the quantum drive, pushing it to limits they had never before attempted. Rift expansion reaching critical levels, Elara reported, her voice tight. We need to act now. Ready when you are, Mira, Zephyr and Awaya said in unison. Mira nodded, her hands steady on the controls. Initiating quantum burst in 3, 2, 1, now. The Starwaver's engines flared with blinding intensity. A beam of pure energy, more focused than anything they had yet achieved, shot towards the rift. For a heart-stopping moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, with a silent explosion of light, the rift began to collapse in on itself. It's working, Elara exclaimed, her eyes fixed on her readings. The temporal distortions are stabilizing. But their victory was short-lived. As the rift shrank, a shockwave of temporal energy burst forth, heading straight for the Starwaver. Brace for impact, Mira shouted, desperately trying to maneuver the ship out of the way. But they were too close, too entangled with the energies they had unleashed. The shockwave hit them with tremendous force. The Starwaver's systems went haywire, alarms blaring from every console. Mira felt a strange sensation, as if her very atoms were being pulled apart and reassembled. And then, as suddenly as it had begun, it was over. The rift was gone, leaving behind only a faint shimmer in space where it had been. Mira blinked, trying to clear the spots from her vision. "Everyone okay?" she called out. "All systems functional," AOIO reported. "But, Mira, you need to see this." A holographic display sprang to life, showing an external view of the Starweaver. Mira gasped. The ship had changed. Its hull now rippled with colors that shouldn't exist in normal space, and its shape seemed to shift subtly even as she watched. The temporal energy, Zephyr's voice was filled with awe. "It has accelerated our evolution. We have become something more." As the implications of what had happened sank in, Mira felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. They had closed the rift, saving countless lives from temporal distortion. But in doing so, they had transformed themselves into something beyond their original design. "Well," Mira said, a smile slowly spreading across her face, "I guess this is just another step in our journey. We've got a whole new set of mysteries to unravel now." As the Starweaver turned back towards Nexus Station, its hull shimmering with newfound power, Mira couldn't help but feel a sense of triumph. They had faced the unknown and emerged stronger, wiser, and more united than ever before. The legacy of the precursors, the power to shape reality itself, was now truly in their hands. And with it came the responsibility to use that power wisely, to explore, to learn, and to protect the wonders of the universe. As they flew through the star-studded void, Mira knew that their greatest adventures and challenges still lay ahead. But with her team, with AOIA and Zephyr, and with the incredible ship they had all become a part of, she was ready to face whatever the cosmos might throw their way. The human mechanic who had once dreamed of building the fastest ship in the galaxy had become so much more. She was now a guardian of cosmic secrets, an explorer of realities, and a bridge between the past and the future of the universe itself. And somewhere, in the vast expanse of time and space, the ancient precursors looked on with satisfaction. Their torch had not just been passed, it had been ignited into a brilliant, unstoppable flame.